Hello, hello. Ron Callis here with another episode of Automation Unplugged. Let's see here. We are here for show number 140. Believe it or not. I remember it was not too long ago that we were recording show 100 with Lee Travis. I think it was back in January or February. So we're cruising right along here. Today is Wednesday, October 14th. It is just a little bit after 12:30. I know many of our friends in the industry are busy attending the ASION virtual conference that's happening this week. Some of you are attending the Snap AV virtual conference that's happening, I want to say right now. And then here we are live. So if you're with us, thank you for tuning in. And of course, if you're like many of our friends out there, you might be listening to the podcast afterwards. And if that's the case, thanks for tuning into the podcast. As always, I'm going to tune in to Facebook, make sure we're actually streaming correctly here. So stand by. And it does look like technology is behaving. So let's go ahead and let's get my guest in here. Today we have Jesse Silva. He is the owner at The Pave out in Arizona. And Jesse, I've known Jesse for a while. I've been watching Jesse on social media. He's a machine. If you go to the Instagram platform, and you'll notice if you could search for The Pave, you'll see him there. But I'm actually noticing here that I just lost him. So I'm going to hope that he comes back. But I did just see him disappear from the bottom of my screen. So it's good that we're live so that you guys can watch me here live, try to find him. Let's see here. He was ready. We've been on for the last little bit here, prepping. Let's see what happened to Jesse. What? I'm going to give him. There he is. And he's back.
Hey.
That's the beauty of going live is you never know when technology is going to go wacky on you. So you clicked away there for a minute, but then you came back. What happened?
Yeah, I don't know. I as soon as you were about to do the introduction, it just you froze up on me, and then I had to refresh and come back. I don't know what happened.
Got it. I can't help but notice that beautiful, colorful Josh AI over your shoulder, circling that color. Does it do that all the time, or does it do that when you give it a command, or how does that work?
So right now, because I knew we'd definitely talk about it. It's on mute, so that's when you mute it from the app, you have that nice, colorful, almost like a orange and dark orange glow.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's hard not to talk about if you enter a room and you see that thing doing that. I guess that's telling you that it's not listening.
That's not. We can say, okay, Josh, as many times as we want, and our lights or TV won't turn on magically.
Got it. All right. Well, I appreciate that. Well, for those that are listening and or tuning in live or on the podcast, Jesse, can you tell us, first of all, where are you coming to us from?
Oh, so I'm in Goodyear, Arizona, which is just a couple minutes away from Phoenix. So in metropolitan, so it's Phoenix Metro is where we're at. Temperatures are finally cooling down. We've been on record after record over the summer. So
how hot was it nice there?
I think we hit, it was over 50 days of 110 plus. On how many days over 115, which was I think 17 or something crazy. But
that's nuts. Is that the hottest you can remember it ever being?
For that long of a run, it's yes. The first year I moved out here, actually, I was I think that was one of the other record breaking years when I first moved out. So it was a good time to move in and experience the heat. I always tell people if they're moving into Arizona, move during the summer so you get the worst of it, and then 7 or 8 months after that, you're gonna enjoy it.
It just gets better. It just gets cooler and cooler, and then before the next blast from the hot air gun comes
Right.
in June. Jesse, I want to go back into kind of your background, but before we go there, can you just tell our audience a little bit about your business, the name of your business, and what your business looks like?
Yeah. So most of our social media followers, our clients, friends, know us as the PAVE. But the PAVE does stand for the ProView Audio Video Experience. Been in business since about 2009, right when I was in, senior year of college, and kind of just grew the business kind of as a side hustle, during and after college. And about 3.5 years ago, I left my job at with an IT doing IT for Bank of America to pursue it full time, and haven't looked back. It's been very good so far.
That's awesome. So you started the business in '09. It was a bit of a side project. You were helping clients. You were billing that revenue through that corporate entity, and it was 3 or 4 years ago that you said I'm going all in, jumping in with both feet.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we had our second child, our daughter Camila, and I just I wanted a bit more uh, flexibility, but at the same time, I wanted to pursue something that I had been shooting for quite some time, and there was no better time. When she was born, it was kind of like the light bulb was flashing in front of me, saying, "Hey, you gotta do something now, or you're gonna end up in the corporate world for forever."
Got it. That makes sense. Let's see if my software is cooperating today. So we're getting a few shout outs on Facebook. So we've got Thomas Wing down in Panama. He says, "Hola, Ron and Jesse. Good to see you both. Saludos from Panama."
Yeah, Thomas. Hi, Thomas.
And we have Angel. He says, "Welcome, Jesse. Saludos from Mexico."
Saludos.
And we got Brandy. She says, "Hi, Jesse. Go Arizona Cardinals." Are you an Arizona Cardinals fan, Jesse?
Since moving here, I'm a believer in supporting your local teams, but I grew up a 49er fan.
I was gonna say,
But
to say that, that's almost a politically correct answer. I think you want to tell me you're a 49ers fan.
I'm a 49ers fan. Yep.
All right.
But I've been to quite a few Cardinal games.
All right, we'll do one more here because we got one more shout out. Jason, Jason. He says,
up,
"What's
Jay?"
going on, Jesse?" That's fun. So Jesse, let's go in the Wayback Machine. I'd love to know your background. And you were going to college and you decided to start this. Like, take us back. How did you, as a known player and thought leader here in custom integration, how did that all begin?
So really, I mean, I've always been the family go-to tech guy or tech kid growing up.
By the way, Jesse, you're going to
Yeah.
appreciate this. I got to say, Mr. Lee Travis, Lee, your ears are burning. We were just talking about you before we went live.
Hey, Lee, thanks for joining.
That's awesome.
That is cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So, always been into tech, taking things apart, setting things up. I actually got my start in installations doing custom car audio. So I did car audio out of my garage in high school, but I'm about 6'1", 6'2", and it's not very comfortable under a dashboard, leaned over doing that. So when I moved to Arizona,
especially in 117-degree heat.
Yeah.
Or this was before the 117.
Yeah, this was in California, so a bit cooler, temperatures. But when I moved to Arizona, that was really the nail in the coffin to the custom car audio side, was that 115 under a dashboard, not so fun. So decided to kind of venture, and I've always been into the home AV. Got an LCD early on, and have been into that side as well. And really, what brought me over to the Resi integration side is automation, and home theater. So that really led to what the PAVE is now, which is the home theater and home automation aspect of our business.
So while you were doing IT at Bank of America, how did you gain exposure to this, home residential integration side of things? Like, where did that influence come from? Did you read a magazine? Did you attend a trade show of some type? Like, how did that
Yeah.
happen?
So really, it was just any free time that I had, nights and weekends. Even breaks on the job. I had a stack of CE Pros with me, and the Resi magazine as well. So I mean, I was just always reading, articles, learning about, what products are out there, what solutions, because early on it was mainly surround sounds and, setting up TVs and things like that. But as I, learned about the Lutrons and, smart lighting, intelligent shades, um, home automation control through those magazines, that's really where I started to seek out the training. So, you had Cedia, and then just the web. I mean, the web is undefeated in information.
My son is doing virtual schooling downstairs. He's in the 11th, or he's 11 years old, so he's in the 6th grade. And you talk about going to the cloud, and he's sitting there doing his schoolwork. He's got a laptop, he's got an iPad, because he's virtual conferencing into the classroom, and he's got his Google thing. I don't know what it's called, the touchscreen that is Google. And he'll literally sit there all day long as he wants to like ask questions. Like, he'll talk to Google, and Google will give him answer. Like, we're doing a science project last night, or working on his project, and he's doing it on materials testing and carbon fiber and stuff. And so he asks a pretty complex question even to Google, and she just, without missing a beat, gave him a complex answer. I was like, that's so amazing.
Yeah.
You have 2 children as well, correct?
Yeah. I have my son Joaquin and my daughter Camila, 7 and 4. Gonna be 4 in December. So she's 3 now. She'll be 4 soon.
Are they talking to Josh or to Alexa or to Siri or Google yet?
All of them. It's
All of them.
it's I don't know if you'll have to check it out, but there's a post I did on my son. We have kind of a bedtime routine, and one of the things that kind of kicks it off is a request to Josh. He'll say, "Okay, Josh, it's bedtime," and I have it programmed to do a couple different responses, and one of them is actually in Spanish, and it says "Buenas noches," and so the lights kind of dim, locks. If we forgot to lock the garage door into the laundry room, locks, and then they have some smart lighting in their room, so it kind of creates a night light and starts playing some mellow music for them in their Sonos.
Isn't that amazing?
It is.
4-year-old and a 7-year-old talking to the AI, the
Yeah.
house,
Yeah.
and the house is responding.
Right. Yeah. They and then they use Alexa quite a bit, for like the questions like you mentioned, like how far is the sun, and things like that. And it's so crazy how quick that information just comes back.
It's instantaneous, or it certainly seems like it's instantaneous. It's happening in microseconds.
Right.
The world's knowledge right there at their
At
fingertips.
their fingertips. Right.
That's fun. So what well, where are we at? We're in October, it's 2020. This is, pandemic year. How has first of all your family and your team responded to COVID? Are you guys okay? Are you healthy? What's the status there?
Yeah. So day 955 of the pandemic, it seems like.
It certainly
Um,
feels that way.
Right. No, fortunately, thank you for asking. Everyone's doing well. We've been healthy. We've been practicing, the proper measures to keep ourselves and our team safe. So fortunately, everyone's been healthy. We've been able to continue to work. Early on, as with other integrators, I'm sure, there was a bit of uncertainty there as what to do, what's the right thing to do. Cedia and other integrators really stepped up in providing, some of that information and processes, and what would be a good course of action. And in the states that, required the essential classification to continue to work, that really allowed us to continue to get out there and help clients, especially with the surge of being at home. The networks were huge, keeping the kids entertained with streaming and all of that. So, but business has been good. All things considered, business is looking like it's going to be, a great close to the end of the year for us.
Can you get I know a lot of folks that are listening, they're eager to hear. Can you give me some stats, Jesse? Is it up a little bit? Is it up a lot? What does
So
it look like compared to 2019 in terms of top line? Let's call it revenue.
yeah, so we're actually gonna double what we accomplished last year. So last year was a pretty solid year for us, and this year we look like we're gonna double that number.
What's your reasoning behind that?
I think it really comes down to a couple factors. One is, even though you have the pandemic, that has helped, make folks realize that, maybe their network isn't that great. Maybe they want a bigger TV. They're going to spend more time. They can't go to the movies. So there's a lot of factors there that they're spending more time at home, and they realize that maybe they should improve, some of their lifestyle tech at home. So I think that has a factor. The other one is, we've for about almost 2 years now, had been working a relationship with a park model and modular home builder called Cavco. Their name is Cavco. So that's been a great relationship that we've been able to build up with them, and that's allowed us to get into other projects outside of just the traditional residential homes, where we've done some hospitality and have brought tech to an industry that maybe hasn't been so heavy on the tech side.
What are those solutions looking like? I'm curious. So how did they learn about the opportunity by putting tech in their projects? Was that from you, or did they learn it from vendors, or how did that
So
develop?
they had been using, I think, like audio, like some audio and some video solutions. But what kind of kicked it off was about 2 years ago, we were approached to help provide a solution for an expo that was going to happen. So we worked with them. They were going to be a part of a kind of like a CEDIA, but in their industry, called RVX, and it was in Salt Lake a couple years ago. And they were trying to design the cabin of the future, or the park model of the future. So first thing that came to mind was automation. So what we ended up putting in that unit was pretty much everything. It had close to $50,000 worth of tech in a 400 square foot cabin park model. Everything from automated shades, lighting. We put Josh in there. It was one of the first Josh projects that we did. We also utilized some Savant for the remote control functionality, and it was a fully automated tiny home, if you want to say it that way. And that
That's
kind of
cool.
sparked the conversation. Okay, this is a one-time show, but what else, maybe what else can we provide in terms of an amenity for your customers that are looking for that? Just because you have a 400 square foot space, you may want some of the tech that a 2,000 or 3,000 square foot home has.
No, that's very cool. And we have a quick shout out here. Michelle says, "Go Jesse and the pave." So I'm
Shelly,
assuming
she's great. She actually went on a consultation with us for some Lutron shades. So shout
oh,
out to
cool.
her for being so helpful.
That is awesome. Well, while I'm giving shout outs, there's another Lutron name drop here. Catherine, she says, "Yay, Jesse, go Lutron."
Catherine, thanks, Catherine.
Awesome. So by those two Lutron references, I'm assuming you're a Lutron dealer, Lutron reseller.
That's right.
Awesome. What do you think of their? I don't know what it's called, but what do you think of their new keypads with the round buttons?
The LSA keypads.
Yes,
Yeah, those look very beautiful. I'm
they do.
excited to get some of those in and provide that option to our clients.
Is that educate me and maybe those listening that aren't aware? What system can you use those keypads with? Is it only with HomeWorks?
It's HomeWorks QS. Yeah, it's a part of the
HomeWorks Q.
HomeWorks QS with the which also includes the Palladium line and the Ketra um, circadian rhythm lighting.
Okay. So I know that And we just, we mentioned Lutron. So just on the subject of brands, what are you seeing right now? You're in Arizona, you're here in the United States. It's October 2020. Uh, what are you seeing in terms of vendors and the availability of products and electronics for your projects? Are you backed up? Are you getting what you need right now, or what are you seeing and feeling?
Yeah, so I mean it's been early, early on it was okay just because manufacturing was going. But once some of the plants and manufacturers were forced to kind of either cut employees um, or worse, have to shut down plants. So, for example, like Samsung had to shut down for a few weeks. A lot of the panels are made out of in Mexico for North America, so their plant was forced to shut down. Initially, it was okay just because they probably had plenty of inventory, but as time went on, even after they reopened, that's when things started to kind of hit a bit of an issue. But right now, I think things are getting better. There are some things that are affected just because of offshore manufacturing, chips or things like that, where there is some back orders still going on. So we're pushing through it. We've just had to be very clear with our clients and just let them know ahead of time that we're willing to help them achieve what they're looking for, but it may take a few extra weeks just to get the product in and come out. Things that are out of our control, so to speak.
Got it.
Yeah,
A couple more comments here, Jesse, rolling in. Of course, Michelle gave us some clarification. The Alice are gorgeous. You can have 1 to 9 buttons. Thank you,
that's right.
Michelle. And Ariel, our mutual good friend, he says, the pave. Many greetings to Jesse from Polaris Controls.
Yeah, I love that. Love that guy. He does these really great shorts. Calls them video shorts, and you got to check him out. It's fun.
Yeah,
Right.
Ariel is a good friend. He and I go way back to our Lutron days, and he had me on his podcast a few months ago. So
That's cool.
I think I was his first English speaking guest because he generally does that for the Caribbean and South America.
He does. Yeah.
I said, Ariel, I love you, man, but I can't do the Spanish. It's not one of my skills. So he's like, Ron, don't worry. I speak many languages, so I'll work with you.
He does. Man
So,
of many talents.
man of many talents. So, what vendors? I'm gonna let you name drop some people if you want to show people some love. What
Yeah.
are some vendors that you think over this COVID period have been particularly impressive to you in the way that they've supported you or and helped you along the way? I mean, you're running a small business. Every dollar counts. Every bit of support counts, and you could theorize that maybe they want to prioritize bigger businesses. Some manufacturers might. Doesn't mean it's right or wrong. Um, what have you seen? Who's really stood out to you as demonstrating exceptional support for your business?
Yeah. So I mean, for us, it's all about the people behind the brand, the people that represent the brand to us. And the folks that stand out quite a bit ahead of the pack would be the guys and gals at Josh AI and Origin Acoustics. They're kind of we love the people, we get along with them, and they went above and beyond in terms of providing information to us, not only just about their product and how they can help with their product, but also providing solutions and help us be more creative on how to generate business and help our business out. For example, Origin had a few webinars where they had other big integrators and what their processes were, and they kind of help put processes together for the PPP. So things like that, it goes to show you that they care more about just simply um, the number of speakers or products that they're selling, but you as the company, because they want to establish that long-term relationship. Also a shout out to our to Sonos and their our rep Corey, who they're a big company. I'm small in terms of their customers, right? But they, having that relationship with him has really helped provide some insight and kind of heads up on, hey, there might be some delays. You want to order some stuff just to make sure before they go out, things like that. it's all about the relationships in this industry, and probably in any industry. But that's really what has helped us stay at the forefront of technology and helping our customers, is the relationships with our partners.
Got it. I think that's a really key point because you mentioned some bigger companies and companies of various sizes there. But what really makes that difference to you is that relationship. Whoever that personal direct contact for that manufacturer is for you, that's what's making the difference.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, folks like, it's not just Josh. It's, it's Bridget. It's Chad. At Origin, even Fisher, Mark Fisher. He's at the top of the company, and even he reached out and said, "Hey, what can we do to help you?" Um, so that it's the people. It's not so much the brand name.
What does a typical project look like for you, Jesse? So if you go and you're doing the bread and butter work that you do every day, what does a project like that look like? What type of technologies are in that project?
So a lot of our projects, kind of to hone in on this year, a lot of our projects have included, the automation. So multiple solutions, from audio, video, to lighting control, shades. That's kind of, we try to show our clients the benefits and the beauty of having technology in their home that is reliable and easy to use, because I feel a lot of times, some clients are reserved to going down the path of technology because they hear that it doesn't work, or the frustration. You go into Costco any day of the week and you see a stack of returned items, and you kind of wonder, like, well, what was really the problem? Were they really that many defective? Probably not. It's probably just they couldn't figure it out. It wasn't what they thought.
Mm.
So as an integrator, our solutions that we push, we try to show them the benefits of them. So to answer your question, a lot of big TVs, great sounding audio, and lighting and shading control have been the leaders in what we do, day in and day out.
And you had mentioned previously, but I just want to make sure I'm clear. This COVID, I'll just call it level of busyness, the summer to the present. I mean, many of us in the industry were slower and it was super weird in Q2, March, April, May, but really June to the present. Um, there's been a change. I'm going to say a change nationwide that I've witnessed is that just everyone's super duper busy, levels of busyness they haven't seen in many cases, many years, if ever.
Yeah.
Is there a change in what your projects have looked like? In the technologies that are in those projects, or what the consumer is asking for today versus a year, October 2019 versus October 2020? Is there any difference?
I think there has definitely been a difference in a couple categories. Networking has been one that we've gotten a lot more calls on, and also security, like cameras. Um,
Mm.
those that has been a big one, and it's probably, for a couple of number of reasons. I mean, we've had a lot of uncertainty and unrest, throughout, and I think that kind of triggered, clients to say, "Hey, well, maybe I do need that doorbell camera, or we do need some surveillance around." Um, and I think that those two categories have really, really jumped, in terms of requests from us. We would normally, networking is such an integral part in what we do, and the other technologies that are tied into our installations. So that's kind of always been kind of big. But we've done just standalone network solutions for clients this year, as opposed to a complete package. And the same thing with the cameras, where we get a call and they want, a surveillance system as opposed to a surveillance system tied into an automation system. So those are some of the changes that we've seen.
Got it. Any post-election predictions? Not to get into any political leanings one way or the. I think I already got in trouble by doing that in my last podcast, so that I won't go there. But any predictions in terms of post-election, it being good or bad for your level of busyness, this year and early next year?
I think it's going to continue to be busy. I would predict, especially since it's the holiday season, and even though there is the COVID-19 scenario going around, I feel like most people are still spending money, for themselves. They're not spending as much being out or going on vacations, things like that. So they're using that added, those added funds that they're not spending elsewhere into their home, fixing up their backyards and things like that.
Got it. That makes sense. So I learned about you, Jesse, probably a few years ago, just because as One Firefly started to ramp up our level of activity on Instagram, and we were a little late to the game on Instagram. So I want to say we as an agency only really started becoming active maybe I want to say 2 years ago, something like that. And anyone could go to our Instagram page and check me on that. But I want to say that's when we started taking that platform more seriously for this channel. And we noticed that you were super active, and you're in this cohort of integrators that are really leveraging that platform, and you're really running with it. I mean, I took some notes here. You have just under 2,000 followers on Instagram, more than LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. Where did that come from, or just how do you think about maybe social media in general? And then if we talk a little bit more about Instagram, like how do you think about that platform?
Yeah, so I mean, it's really, again, it's kind of going back to the question that you asked about, the brands and how I mentioned about the people. And I've always been, um, someone that loves to talk and interact with others. I love to help people if I can. Um, so Instagram just felt like a space where you can share ideas, you can share images, and then now you have videos and stories and live feeds. So they just kept on adding additional, I think they're CMR as tools, uh you know and social media is a tool for us, marketing tool, as well as a way to gain information and ideas from others that are doing it, not only at within Arizona or within the US, but worldwide. And you pick up a lot of great information, and also not only just information but clients. We were able to share a beautiful setup or solution that you provided someone else, and it might gain someone's interest, and then you get a message, the DM as they're known, um, requesting, hey, how did you do that? Or I'm thinking about remodeling my home. What ideas? Or you start the conversation there, set up a consultation, and you can earn customers through the social media platform
Have
as well.
you picked up business from Instagram?
I have. Yeah, we definitely have. We have a few customers right now that we're working with that are doing, home remodels. One's building a new home, and we're in the talks of like the design phase. So definitely, it does equate to business. So it's worth going on there and seeing what you can do.
How do you I'm going to make an assumption that the customer types or the design trade partner types that would be most valuable to you would be locally in the Phoenix market. Is that accurate, or do you pick up work anywhere in the country?
So most of the because we tag the locations usually of where our installs are, with states that are cities that are here local. But we have gotten work in California. We have gotten requests from out of state. Some of the out of state requests, maybe don't make so much sense just because we're not positioned to be as successful out of state as we are here locally. But we have also even partnered with other integration firms that have needed help here, that maybe they had a customer move here, or they have a connection with a resort or something that they need help. So we work with other entities to provide services here, as well as have recommended other firms out of state as well.
What do you decide to post to Instagram? How do you think about that or approach what to put up?
So a lot of the time, I feel like the most traction and in those scenarios, and that's what we post most of the time is real life scenarios.
Real life scenarios. And do you also follow other integrators? And if so, like how do you choose who to follow and what are you looking for there?
So usually, I'm pretty free. I follow quite a few, uh, and what keeps them as us following them is their interactivity or their how many posts. Like if you go on there, you can see their post was from over a year ago. They're probably not that active, so it doesn't make so much sense to follow them. But some of the standout accounts that are doing a knockout job, like Art of Smart out of the UK, Rich and the team. He's taking it to a whole other level to where even his team has Art of Smart handles, and they're out there doing their thing, and they're doing the same thing. They're showing what the level of quality that they provide, the solutions that they provide, and how easy it is to use. I think that's kind of a golden rule, I would say, for social media is people want to see the real life thing. They don't just want to see a perfect picture of a living room. They want to see what goes on there.
How do you think about Instagram versus the other platforms? Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, House, maybe others.
Yeah, I think they all have their own special niche, I guess you can say, of specific followers that are looking for certain things. Instagram is they're at the end of the day they're a media platform for photos and video, so that makes it easy to share what we're doing visually. Whereas Facebook, you could do that, but I feel most of the time it's post maybe for a conversation, a little bit different than how Instagram and our followers are within the Instagram platform. We also use LinkedIn and Twitter a bit. LinkedIn is great for networking with other professionals in the industry, but you can also share posts and things there as well.
What would you say to anybody in our industry? And I'll you know partition out integrators, business operators that are not currently active on social media.
Just do it. Just jump in head first. Don't worry so much about being perfect because you'll gain that experience and you'll see what works, what doesn't. And don't be afraid to do even like the stories where you talk into the camera. I know a lot of folks are kind of maybe a little timid about doing that, but you can do it in many different ways and be successful. It doesn't have to be just one specific way. The biggest thing is content creation, and you're not limited to how much content you can put out there. I'm a big follower of Gary Vee. I don't know
Oh yeah.
if you follow him, but he loves to say that it's content. You're not limited to how much content you can put out there. So put out as much as you can and see what sticks.
So what do you say to the person that challenges and says, "quote My customer is not on social media"?
Your next customer might be though.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, maybe your current one isn't, but the next one might be.
It's not going away anytime soon, is it?
Not anytime soon.
Yeah, I concur. All right, switching gears. We just had the CEDIA virtual conference. I want to say a few weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago. Did you go, and how was it, and what stood out to you?
Yeah, so I got dressed up and went to my living room and watched watched a ton of content. I think it was very well done. It's not like CDs of past where you get to go. We as integrators and people, we love to consume, touch, feel, see, shake hands, and all of that. So we couldn't do that this year, but we still were able to gain a lot of information. Took some training. We're always looking for for what we can learn that would allow us to continue to be what we are in providing best in class solutions. So education is a big portion of CEDIA. And then, some of the standout companies like Sony, for example, or Samsung, they did a very good job at providing a virtual experience to where you felt like you were there. You had Sony did a big conference room in a hotel. It looked like and they had the Cedia booth there with the actual product, and they did live by invite, live sessions where they would walk around and explain, talk about the new products and product announcements. So I think overall, for what it was, it may have not been our traditional Cedia, but you can definitely find a lot of information, and you can still, if you signed up and registered, you can still go now and tap back into that information that you might have missed.
Got it. Did just you attend, or did you have members of your team attend as well?
Yeah, so we all attended, myself and the other members of our team. We all took different things, different levels of education, because they offer, your management classes, you're the ones that are meant for your techs, things like that. So we signed up for quite a few courses and took that in.
Got it. What do you think
Yeah.
next year? Think we're going to have conferences or buying group events, or do you think everything's going to stay virtual?
I don't know. My hope is that we could go and attend some events, but I think it's still too early to say. I think what's going on now is in for a while, I think.
If the events do start happening as early as the spring, would you actually attend, or would you still go virtual or not attend?
I would easily say that I would love to attend, but got to make sure my family
I'll say, will your
agrees.
family allow you to attend? That's the key.
Yeah,
Maybe that's the
that's the
better
key.
question.
Yeah. I think we've definitely hit a good stride in being responsible and taking the proper measures. At the end of the day, we're not going to sit in our house in the bubble. We couldn't do it as integrators. Our business wouldn't succeed if we weren't able to. But in terms of the shows, I mean, they're important. But if they're able to provide a safe environment, I think I'd be open to it.
So your business today, you run a total of you're a 3-man shop, correct? 3-man or woman shop.
That's right.
And are folks that are just like you. There are folks that strive to be at the level that you're at. And I say that comically, just as you might, we had Lee join a little bit ago, just as you might want to strive and grow your business to be like Lee's business. There are people that want to strive and have a business just like yours. What are any words of advice or counsel that you might give those that are watching or listening?
Yeah, I would say a couple things. To be successful, you're as good as your process. And although my process may be not be as great as some of the bigger companies, I think that we've done a great job, especially this year, in gaining some of our processes, and a lot of it has to do with software. So my recommendation would be invest in software that helps you provide a better experience for your customer and for your employees, as well as managing, say, your projects, your invoice, something as simple as portal.io to send a professional estimate to a customer. Those little things can help you gain customers. So I say software is a big role. The other recommendation would be your brands. Be selective in your brands, and don't let yourself go and try to carry every product under the sun, because you're doing a disservice for your customer and for yourself. Concentrate and focus on the brands that best highlight what kind of business you're running, and the solutions that best in class solutions, best of breed solutions that you can focus on. For example, some of our top brands that we use day in and day out, you have Sonos, you have your Josh AI paired with either our Savant systems and soon to be Control 4 systems as well. For speakers, there's tons of great manufacturers and love a ton of them, but for your business, it's best to focus on one. And the benefits to focusing on certain brands that provide you with what you need allows you also to establish those relationships with those people that we mentioned. Because if you interact with them and they provide you information, it's kind of a give and get line there.
No, that's great. Jesse, it's been a pleasure having you on the show, man. I've been enjoying watching you grow your business and kind of grow really your visibility and level of interaction within our industry and globally, right? Because the people we follow and interact with throughout social media, they're all over the world.
Right.
And it's been a lot of fun watching your success. And I want to thank you for coming on Automation Unplugged.
Yeah, and thank you for having me. It's been great. I watched the show. It's crazy. It's 140 episodes in,
Yep.
but super grateful to have the opportunity to be here with you and share some information.
For those that want to get in touch with you directly, what's your advice? Where do you want them to go?
Yeah. So on the topic of social, visit. You can follow us on any of the platforms. The handle is thepave.com spelled out. So at Instagram, it's at thepave.com. You can direct message me there. I'm usually the one handling the DMs there. And also, if anyone would like to email me that wants to know more about the software or the brands that we use, feel free to email me. It's Jesse, Jesse, at thepave.com, THEPAVE.com.
And you think you'll have a chance to go into the comment stream after the show and maybe say hi to some of the folks that have taken some time to comment?
Absolutely. I plan to reach out to everyone. I appreciate everyone that joined us today. And hopefully you were able to take at least a piece of information that might help you. But if there's something else that I can help you out with, I'm here for the industry. I'm here for other integrators and the family.
Awesome. That's it. We are a family. We got to help each other out.
That's
So,
right.
Jesse, to you and your family, thank you for everything you do. And thanks for coming on the show. We'll see you soon, bud.
Thank you. Likewise. Bye, everyone.
All right, gang, there you have it. That was show number, what is that? That's show number 140. Holy moly. And that was a lot of fun. I appreciate all of you chatting and interacting. Had a few comments come in here at the end. Thomas, thank you for that, sir. You said great. I'm hoping that the stream has been coming to you consistent. My software is acting super wonky, and about every 10 minutes, Jesse and I would see on the screen a 3, 2, 1 countdown. Kind of, that's usually not a good sign. So I don't know that the stream was constant. I'll have to check with everyone afterwards, but I hope it was. If you have not already done so, please go to your favorite platform for listening to podcasts and just search up Automation Unplugged and subscribe or leave a review. And on that note, here is all the best ways to get in touch with myself and the team at One Firefly. There's our website and our phone number, and definitely be sure to check that out. And I will see you guys next time. Be well, be safe. Ciao.